Welcome to my channel Simply Management, and this is the second video of this channel, that is my channel called Simply Management. In this channel I'll try to explain various management concepts in simple English. In this channel we are now trying to look at the basics of NLP and how we can develop our personality using the basics of NLP. Now, what is NLP? NLP is a study of human excellence. NLP is the ability to be your best more often. NLP is the powerful and practical approach to personal change. NLP is a new technology of achievement. In simple terms, NLP is all about trying to find out how very effective people who have very high levels of emotional intelligence, people who are very effective in terms of relating to others, how do they behave and how do they perform. And once we understand something from them, it is easy for us to do things in a far more effective way than what we are doing. Our behavior can be modified to become far better human beings through NLP, the basics of NLP. We study NLP only based on the basics, and from there we take on the things in the other videos. But then we are now looking at this. In this video, we're looking at the very basics. Now, the mental maps of the world are not the world. Now we have our mental maps. We respond to our maps rather than directly to the world. Mental maps, especially feelings and interpretations, can be updated more easily than the world can be changed. Now, instead of changing the world, we need to change ourselves. That is exactly what is called the basics of NLP, and here we are talking about the presuppositions. There is a very important concept called the map is not the territory. Today on Amazon Prime, we have this Tamil movie called Payaniharing Gavanatthukku, which means for the attention of passengers. It shows a hero, a person who can't speak, who is actually attending to his sick daughter, who is sick and admitted into a hospital in Chennai. Unfortunately, he is so tired that he starts dozing off in a metro train, and he actually he is so tired that he is not able to understand what's happening to him. He just dozes off, and a passenger who is a total stranger who doesn't know this man personally wants to just capture it on his mobile. He does so, and he gets it posted on social media. There is a big debate as to why this passenger and how irresponsible this passenger is and all that, and everybody assumes that he is drunk, and why he is drunk and why he is behaving like this. This is exactly the debate that goes on even television. Unfortunately, the truth is that the person was very tired and he had gone to sleep. This is exactly what happens because we have our mental map that every person who sleeps on the pavements, who sleeps in any train, or who falls asleep even in a bus is already drunk. It's not true. Every man, or woman doesn't boost as often as what we think, and they do not go to sleep drunk most of the time. This is our mental map that everybody who does behave like this is already drunk. It's not true. And this is an excellent movie from where we can understand that our mental map is not the reality at all. The second aspect is experience as a structure, because whenever we think of our own experiences, we already have a particular way of thinking because that has been sort of conditioned in our minds. We already have it conditioned in our minds, and then the thought patterns emerge based on such conditioning. However, NLP says that once we start analyzing such thought patterns, We can always come out of such thought patterns. By becoming more aware of such thought patterns, we can change for the better. If one person can do something, anyone can do it. We can always duplicate human excellence, duplicate that person's belief system, mental syntax, and physiology. This is so simple a concept. We always find that persons who are very positive, who produce far better results than what we do. He may be a teacher, he may be your wife, he may be your husband, he may be a retired father, or maybe even retired mother, or a neighbor, or a person who plays cricket, or anything, anywhere in the world. When you understand that he has a positive belief and he starts doing things in a very systematic way, we can understand that kind of mental syntax, how he starts believing in himself, and then we can take it on to its logical conclusion. This is exactly what we say as duplicate human excellence. NLP is all about modeling human excellence. Now, the mind and the body are parts of the same system. NLP says that whatever affects our mind, it also affects our thoughts. So we should be very careful to keep our mind in a very peaceful state, so that it doesn't have any detrimental effect on our breathing or feelings and more. Because once we start feeling awful, or once we start feeling, for example, helpless, or even very angry, then the whole thing gets affected, and there is a chain of reactions that lead to very unfortunate consequences. So once we are cool, then we can do far better things. This is exactly why NLP talks about mindfulness. In the very next video, I'll definitely talk about mindfulness and explain that in some detail. So we go to the next one. People already have all the resources that they need. The mental images, the inner voice, the sensations and feelings are the basic building blocks of all our mental and physical resources. We already have it. We already have the skill to think. We already have this ability to start reflecting on what we want. And when we start doing things differently, when we start doing things positively, the entire scenario changes for the better, and we will definitely become more positive human beings than what we are now. You cannot not communicate, which means that you just cannot live in an island and simply say that you don't need to communicate. I'll do whatever I want, but I'll be aloof. I will not pay any attention to any other things that happen around me. I don't need to communicate to anybody. We don't do this. We always communicate. The way we look at others, the way we respond to them, the way we behave is very, very important in life. For example, those who are very harsh with people down the economic ladder are never liked by others. For example, supposing the person who collects the garbage from each of our houses comes to our house and asks for garbage, we just can't yell at them. We should be kind enough to say, give me a minute, and then go there and fetch the garbage and then give it to that person, so that that person will be happy enough and he'll go immediately. But if we start howling at them, as normally sometimes we do, we ventilate our anger on such helpless people, and the entire day becomes awful when that person starts shouting back at you. Or maybe he may not shout at you, but he would say something very unpleasant about you to some other neighbor whom you may or may not know. These are small things, but it happens in life, and we should try to guard against such of those things. NLP always tells you, it shows you the path, it shows you a new way of looking at life in its totality, and trying to understand how your thought patterns start emerging at different points in time. Once we start understanding the thought patterns, it becomes far more easier for us to understand what we should do under a given set of circumstances. I do hope this video, which is a very simple video, would be offering you some insight into NLP. We will take it up, we will go into various aspects of NLP as we go along. I've got a basic training in NLP. There are too many things in NLP, and once we go into the details, I'll explain to you how you could even become a trained person who can conduct training programs based on NLP to groups of people, whether it is in a college or in a corporate sector. That would be another. As we go along, I'll explain all this. Thanks a lot for watching, and please do share this video with all others, and kindly subscribe to my channel for regular videos of this kind. Thank you so much.